The rest of your life, the best of your life. I am Coach Janette, and I'd like to welcome you to what was my Saturday wellness session. So, whenever you get here, this was my Saturday session, and I have a session each Saturday. So, subscribe if you'd like to hear more and connect with me a little bit more. Okay, thanks in advance for watching the live. Now, when we think about how to make the rest of our life the best of our life, what's really important to you, beautiful souls, is that you consider the importance of optimism and hope, of the potential that whatever has happened so far, better is yet to come. Now, I'm so glad that you have come by this way today. Why? Because it was meant to be. Trust me, it was written in the stars. It's your destiny. This connection is bringing you to a spot where you absolutely should be. Because whatever you are going through, optimism and hope about the future is what is going to translate and change your situation and your circumstances. And I'm so glad that you too are here with me today. We're going to dive into a really powerful topic. And no matter what's happened in your past, you have the power to shape your future. And I want you to hold on to that. Power is in your hands. Who decides your future? Me, myself, and I. As George Eliot once said, it's never too late to be who you might have been. I love that. Talk about optimism, talk about hope, talk about never giving up, talk about an enduring spirit. Never too late to be who you might have been. That opens up realms of tremendous possibility. It opens up the realm of the possibility that maybe the ambitions and goals you had that have remained unfulfilled could manifest and could happen for you in some way, shape, or form. I want to ask you a question. When you think about your future, do you feel excited, nervous, or maybe a little bit of both? If you want to, feel free to drop a comment in the chat. Nervous, excited, or maybe a little bit of both. Feel free to drop that comment. If thinking about the future makes you a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, and a little bit anxious, it's a good thing. That means that you are not living your life trying to squeeze into a very small box. You are living an aspirational life with the intention of accomplishing and achieving things that may appear to be a challenge to you at this time. That's a wonderful thing. Aspirations, goals, that little sense of intimidation you have, that little sense of fear is an awesome thing. It means you're really reaching for what is important. You're really reaching for what is enduring. You're pushing yourself, you're stretching yourself. You see, if you weren't doing that, then what lay ahead would seem very simple, very straightforward, very easy. Well, I've heard that what's easy isn't worth having. If it's too easy, it's not worth having. But what's hard to get is definitely worth accomplishing and achieving. When it's hard to get, it increases your confidence, increases your sense of yourself, increases your own independent power. That's what's worth having. I'd love us to do a breathing exercise because this is a wellness session. And in wellness sessions, we connect with our breathing. We do what is called breath work. If you've never done this before, if it's unusual for you, give it a go this once. You know what they say? Try something you've never done before to get results that you've never had before. You will find after this breathing session that you will be a calmer, more rested version of yourself. Okay, so we're going to do what is called a grounding breath, and you're going to inhale deeply for the count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale through your mouth for the count of 6. And this is a wonderful way of releasing some of those stresses that you encountered during the week. We all encounter them somehow in some way. Maybe this week was a week that was trauma free, drama free, which is a wonderful thing. But during the course of things, there are a lot of little stresses that occur, and breath work is wonderful for just releasing them and allowing us to move forward. So let's do some breath work. You're going to inhale through your nose for the count of 4, hold your breath for 4, and exhale slowly, blowing the air out through your lips for the count of 6. Let's do that together now. Inhale and hold and exhale slowly, blowing that breath out for the count of 6. Let's do that again. Inhale and hold and exhale, blowing that breath out slowly for the count of 6. And again, inhale, hold, exhale, blowing that breath out slowly for the count of 6. Well done, you. I hope you felt the benefit of that. Double tap the screen if you did. Just send me a like or a love heart, okay? Just let me know. Did that benefit you? Did you benefit from it? Did you enjoy it? Did it help? Is it something you might try again? Let me talk about some points that will encourage and clarify your vision. First of all, your past does not, what's the word? Your past does not define your future. Those are the words. There may be some beliefs that you are now ready to leave behind. If you want to, you can feel free to put them in the comments. What is something you are ready to leave behind? Recognizing that your past does not define your future and you are ready to leave something behind. This is what we call a shift in mindset. If you've never considered that the past is the story of what happened before, and that right now you have the potential to make decisions and to carry out actions that will transform the future. Now's the time to think about that. If you felt within yourself, but Janette, that's me, this is my life, this is what's happened in the past, this is what has made me who I am, this is what has influenced me. I agree, to some degree that is true. However, there are transitions and changes that you can make yourself to embrace a brighter future. That negative story, that bad thing that happened in the past doesn't have to dictate your entire future. The future is where you need to be focused and directed because through some discipline and through some hope and some positivity and good decision making, you can transform and you can change. Whatever you haven't had, you can have that potentially in a year from now. Imagine what you could accomplish within a year if you committed to disciplined change, to intentional action. Life could be very different. What beliefs are you ready to leave behind today? Have a think about that and clarify your vision. From time to time, we need to think about what's the vision I have for my life? Am I anywhere near it? Am I in any way accomplishing and working towards what I want for the future? I said I wanted a good retirement. Am I making decisions that are guiding me towards that? I said I wanted to lose some weight. Am I eating foods that are going to help me to do that? I said I wanted to learn to improve my vocabulary, to be smarter. Am I doing groundwork that will help me to accomplish and achieve that? I said I wanted to connect more, to be more involved with people, to be more outgoing. Am I taking invitations to do that? Am I using opportunities that are given to me to connect with others? This is what's important. Thank you so much for the likes. Consider what you want your life to look like within the next 1, 3, or 5 years. I love a 5-year plan. You know, it can work either of two ways. You'll either accomplish it in 5 years or you accomplish it way before. What happens when you accomplish it way before, which is often the case, is that you recalibrate. You think again, what is it you want to accomplish now? And you add in some other goals, and then you begin another 5-year goal. You may begin it in a year, in 2 years. So, what do you want your life to look like within the next 1 year, within the next 3 years, and within the next 5 years? How does that look? Consider sharing an example of what you want your life to look like. Is it better health? Is it a better career? Is it to have a better relationship? Maybe you're not in a relationship and you wish to be in a relationship within the next 1, 3, or 5 years. What transformations do you need to make to feel comfortable to begin to participate and be in a relationship? Set intentional goals. I've mentioned goals a couple of times. A goal is not a wish. You know, A wish list is wonderful. I love a wish list. I have a wish list. A wish list is a list of things that I hope to do, a list of things that are not top priority, but they're a list of things that I would like to do. And that wish list comes behind other things. It comes behind the concrete goals I have and the intentional things I've set to do. You see, the intentional things I've set to do are not vague. They are clear and they are actionable. They're things I'm going to do. I'm going to work towards them. I may break them down. I may accomplish them in steps. I might not be able to do them overnight. Kind of like when you wanted to learn to drive, but you realized that you couldn't learn to drive overnight. You had to have some lessons. Maybe you had to save up to be able to afford them or take on a job that would give you some extra income. So you found yourself in a position where you said, right, I can afford to learn to drive now. And you started your lessons. You did your theory test, if that was a thing at the time, and you worked towards it. That is one way of working towards a goal. But if you said, learning to drive is on my wish list, then maybe you've never learned to drive because it was never something that you put action behind or put in place. And so maybe you're still not a driver. Actionable goals are things that you make a decision that you are going to accomplish, but there is room for a wish list. I love to give the universe something to work with. And so I have a wish list. And at times I see that, my gosh, it's happened. I'm there. It's manifested. And it may well do. So instead of, I want to be healthier, that's the wonderful thing. The aspiration, the wish to be healthier. I want to be healthier. But instead of I want to be healthier, how about I will walk for 30 minutes 4 times a week? How about that? I want to be healthier. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes 4 times a week. I want to be healthier. I'm going to reduce fat and sugar in my diet, in what I'm eating. I'm going to eat less fat, less sugar. I want to be healthier. I'm going to give up eating crisps. I want to be healthier. I'm going to stop eating chocolate for a bit. Okay? This is how you set intentional goals. Prioritize your joy and your purpose. Now, someone is thinking, how do I prioritize my joy? Listen, prioritizing your joy is doing more of what you like doing. If you enjoy spending time with family and friends, do more of that. If you have a hobby or a pastime that you enjoy, do that. If you have a hobby or a pastime that you used to enjoy and you're not doing it at the moment, get it out, bring it out, dust it off, and start again. Begin to connect with that because it brings you peace, brings you happiness, brings you joy. What lights you up? Start your day doing more of that, thinking about more of what makes you happy. Do you like to do karaoke? Participate in that. Go online, search and see where's karaoke happening so you can join in and be a part of it. Do more of what makes you happy. Release comparison. Don't compare yourself to other people. Rather than doing that, how about being the best version of you? I love that. I will be the best version of me. And I want to apologize if I haven't enabled you to make comments today. I'm really new to this and I'm not sure how I would do it. So I'm just going to make sure that I've done everything I'm supposed to do so that if you wish to comment, then you can. Okay, I think I've done what I need to do. I think I'm okay. I think I'm fine. All right. And so I believe if you wish to comment, you can. Release comparison. Have you ever looked at somebody and thought, oh my goodness, look at that. By comparison to her, I'm nothing. I'm getting nowhere. Look how well she's doing. Look how far she's moving. Look at her accomplishments and her achievements. I get it. Sometimes we do that, but you hear what comparison does? It's the thief of joy. It is. Comparison will steal your joy. Why? Because when you look at other people, you don't know their story, you don't know their capabilities, you know nothing much about them. You can see them accomplishing and achieving, and you think, oh, look at me, I'm not doing anything by comparison. But you're not comparing because it's not a level playing field. And you don't know when they started doing what they're doing. Maybe they started years before you even considered it. And so they have firmly grounded themselves in what they're doing. And they are streaking forward, moving forward in leaps and bounds. Meanwhile, you feel as if you're just about getting off the ground in this. Over time, by continuing on your own journey, you will learn the lessons that were your lessons, the lessons that were designed for you. You will get the insight, the understanding, the motivation that is purely and essentially yours, the ones that connect with your background, your history, and your story, your past experiences. It will be your own individual journey. When we compare, we may look at other people and think, look at me, I'm way ahead. That's dangerous too, because you might lose your passion and your enthusiasm to strive towards doing better and to have more. You see, sometimes comparison will steal your ambition. It'll stop you from being as ambitious as you might want to do because you're now looking and saying, I'm ahead of other people, when in actual fact, you could go way further. So do consider not comparing. If comparison ever comes in, push it out the door and say, I don't want to compare. I just want to make wise choices and I want to focus on my own personal growth. Remind yourself you're on your own personal path. You are on your own personal pathway to your own personal growth. No need to compare. Enough said. Build supportive habits, but your habits need to support what you do. That's so important. You can't have a whole set of habits like you want to be more healthy, but you're in the habit of getting up, having a cup of tea, and putting in 5 sugars. This isn't supporting the health that you want because the sugar's not healthy. And so we need to begin to adjust and change our habits. If we really love the sugar, then we can find something else that would have a more natural form of sugar rather than five processed sugars, silver spoon. We don't want that kind of stuff. Maybe we could use honey or something else to sweeten, natural sweeteners, fruit sweeteners. Those would be really wonderful for us. So build supportive habits, make small choices each day for your best life. Now listen, I get it. Not every day is an easy day. Not every day is a good day. And on some days, we don't make good choices because we're not loving ourselves. On some days, something comes in and it separates us from loving ourselves. On some days, we may look at ourselves and feel less lovable. Maybe we feel rejected. We feel hurt. We feel we're not accomplishing. It happens to all of us on some days. But what you need to do on those days is recalibrate. You need to treat yourself like your own best friend. You must remember that loving yourself is the greatest gift that you can give yourself. Give yourself that gift of self love, self acceptance. Begin to love and accept yourself for who you are, because I'll tell you something, you're wonderfully and fearfully made. There's no duplicate of you, and that's because you're amazing, you're outstanding. By comparison to others, they are nothing by comparison to the wonder of who you are, you, that individual person. And on the days when you begin to feel as if I'm nothing, I'm nobody, I'm of no value, remind yourself that there are those out there who actually love and care for you, who care for your existence, who care about your future, who care about you moving forward and having a good and positive life. Do remind yourself of that. And if you're stuck and you can't find them, then remember that you were created for a purpose. You were brought here for a reason. An awesome God created you, and He made you to fulfill your destiny. And you have a destiny, you have a hope. So take some time, recalibrate. Remember why you were brought into this world. Look at what your gifts are and what your talents are, and let those encourage you to move positively forward. So remember, some ways of supporting your health, supporting positivity, are gratitude journaling, getting a notebook, a journal, and writing what you are grateful for. When you can see the things that you appreciate and you are grateful for in life, that will give you that courage and that passion to keep going. You'll recognize that there are things in life that make it worthwhile, make it worth living, and you'll stick with it. You'll realize that you have things that have happened in the past that were positive things. Not everything was a negative, not everything was a loss, and that you have a potential future that could be filled with bright things and wonderful opportunities. And here you are, ready to take them. What about affirmations? Do you make affirmations in the morning? Do you ever, when a difficult thing happens, when a challenge comes, meet it with a word of positivity? A positive word can overcome any negative. It can. Once you've made up your mind, true grit, that true substance of strength and fortitude doesn't come from who speaks the loudest, doesn't come from who shouts the most. It's resilience. It's the unwillingness to back down. It's the determination to stay strong, to stay focused, and to stay relevant. It's the determination not to give up. It's the determination that even though there may be tears in your eyes, you've made a decision and you're going to continue and push through with it. Don't give up. Don't allow other people to push you to the side easily. Continue pressing on and moving forward. Do excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold. I am sorry, I do apologize. That's how it is. But life doesn't stop because you've got a bit of a cold. Life continues. And you continue with what you have set yourself out to do. You continue with the goal you've set for yourself, the achievements that you've set for yourself, the areas that you've wanted to touch on, whether your health changes, whether you find yourself at one moment feeling extremely healthy and vital, and the next moment feeling very ill, feeling unwell, recognizing that you've been diagnosed with something that could be potentially life changing doesn't mean that it's over. It just means you've got a whole new set of variables. You have a whole new set of limitations to overcome, and overcome them you will, bit by bit. It means that you are now going to do things differently. You've done things one way for the longest time. That's what you're used to. That's habitual for you. But now here comes the time to do things differently. And so, journal, make affirmations. When a negative thing comes, speak positively to yourself, speak positively to your inner man, to your inner woman, and speak it out into the universe so that the universe can conspire with you and bring about that transformation and change. Speak it out to your higher power, to your God, so that He will hear you and intervene and support you in the change and the transition that you want to have. Remember your morning routines. Those are wonderful habits for getting the day started. Those are habits that support you. No matter what happens, you see, sometimes we all feel that we're going to be derailed by something. Something happens and it may hurt us tremendously. It may literally or metaphorically speaking knock us off our feet. Some people do get knocked off their feet. They have such a shock that they faint. Some people, their hair will turn grey. Every hair on their head with shock will turn grey. But whatever the circumstance and situation, we all have to get up again. You know, 10 times we fall, 11 times we rise. We are called to continue to get up. And so whenever you fall down, get up. If you fall down again, get up. If you're not down, get up. Okay, it's really important. If you fall, rise. It's really important that you continue to see yourself as somebody who will rise, who will get up, whatever the challenge, whatever the difficulty, even though it may feel crippling, you're that version of yourself that is recovering from that terrible experience is going to get up, rise, and continue moving forward. Don't let go, don't give up. If it doesn't work one way, try another way. Adapt, adjust, and keep on trying. But remember, your habits, they keep you, they're like a girdle that girdle you. You see, when you're thrown off, when things happen, if you stick with your daily routines and habits, that is what will girdle you to the point where you can make a recovery and where you can again begin to become your full self. It will take time. Some of us are going through a mourning process. We are grieving. We're hurt. We've lost someone. We've lost something. But by holding on to habits or creating a new set of habits, waking up at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, reading for a certain time, setting up those habits, having a hobby, having pastimes, maybe going for a walk, having these habits as a part of our life holds us together. It's what girdles us and helps us to continue on and to become strong again. Surround yourself with growth minded people. Listen, community, those people around you, they can have either of two effects on you. They will either inspire you or discourage you. And so you must choose wisely. You must decide whether you want to be encouraged or discouraged. There is plenty of encouragement right here where we are. On YouTube, you'll find a wealth of encouragement. Have you connected with any of the motivational speakers that are here? Have you listened to people who share encouragement, uplifting content? This is what will build you up. This is what will help you to grow. This is what will help you to feel better on a bad day. On a tough day, you need a word from somebody who's been through something. So they've survived it. They've made it through a difficult experience. They live to tell the tale, and they're sharing that with you in order to enable you to be encouraged and to move forward positively. It's a good thing. Embrace change. and flexibility. I always say that I am a lifelong learner. Now, listen, everything about me doesn't want to be a lifelong learner, but that's my affirmation. I am a lifelong learner because I'm of an age that I do things a certain way. I'm used to them. I'm used to certain products in the shops that I've been buying for about 50 years. Yeah, I started shopping young. So there are products in the shop, manufacturers' brands that I'm used to. I've been branded. I only like this brand. I like that type of thing. I like that sort of flavor. I like that sauce. I like that ketchup. I like that brand of baked beans. There are things that I'm used to. And yet in life, things change and they throw you off completely. Have you ever shared a computer with somebody else? I remember when our only computer was a desktop computer, and I was the adult in the home. My children, who are now 37 and 40, they were babes then, they were young, and I was setting up our home computer. And oh boy, was I anxious. I'd never done anything like that before. When I was at school, a computer was something that you wrote about. You never experienced sitting at a computer. We had typewriters. That was the closest we got. And during my growing up years, the electric typewriter was invented. And so we went from manual typewriters to electric typewriters. And now a whole computer. I remember the anxiety of setting up the computer. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything wrong. I felt as if I press the wrong button, it might just all break down. It might all stop working. And I was really panicked. And it was a major purchase at that time. But I set it up. I got there. And then I began to share it with my children. I encouraged them to use it. A wonderful way to do homework, a great way to do research, use the World Wide Web, find out about things. Well, of course, being children, they probably just went on and played games, messed about. I remember they were connecting with their friends quite a lot via the computer. And what would happen is, especially with my son, he liked to customize things. He was very quick. And I'd go on the computer, I'd look at the desktop and it would be completely changed. It would be a different color, the icons would be in different places, and it would throw me off completely. I'd be furious. I would feel so upset. And time after time, he would do this. And I had to adjust to it, I had to adapt to it. And oh boy, I didn't know at that time that his actions were, what was the word, were preparing me for what was to come now. Every day, don't you notice? Every day, everywhere you look, something's changing. It's not the same as it was before. It's being done differently. Everything's online now. It's apps, it's programs, it's report this online. You're being discouraged from using the phone. Don't call us anymore. Email us. There are all sorts of different processes. You've got Google Pay. And maybe some of you, you know how to use that. You're used to it. Not all of us are. Some of us fear technology to a degree because we're concerned it's all going to go wrong. We have to be very, very careful. But embrace the spirit of being a lifelong learner, regardless of your anxieties for change. Tell yourself, I'm a lifelong learner. It might take me a little while, but I'm going to continue to learn. And that way you will embrace change and have more flexibility. From time to time, yes, life will throw you a curveball. Things change. But the best life, it comes from being able to adapt. You see, adaptation means that you may regret what has changed. You might miss the past, you might miss how things were, but the willingness to make changes yourself, to begin to accommodate the situation, is adaptation. And resilience, that means that however difficult it might be, you don't give up, you keep on going. And so embrace change and embrace being flexible. Flexibility is key to survival, to existence, to transition, and to growth. Celebrate every step. As you go forward, recognize even your smallest wins. Now, I bought a bunch of flowers for myself yesterday. They're so pretty. Pretty, pretty flowers. I bought them yesterday to celebrate the end of the holidays, to give myself a much needed pat on the back for surviving the holidays as a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, just for surviving the holidays. The day in, day out care that I gave, we made it through. For the young people, we went out on a family outing to celebrate them, to celebrate wonderful exam results, to celebrate wins, celebrate yourself. How can you do that today? Maybe you'd like to tell me in the comments how you would like to celebrate yourself. For me, it's a lovely bunch of flowers. They're supermarket flowers, but they're beautiful. They're so pretty. And I have the opportunity. Today I went downstairs as I was opening the curtains, and I looked at those lovely flowers and they just raised my vibes, made me feel so good. As you can see from the background, I love flowers and I've got a particular passion now for roses. I love a rose. Never used to think that much about them before, but I love roses now. I love the thorns. I love that sense of protecting yourself and at the same time being a little bit vulnerable. I love that about roses. Anyway, recognize your smallest wins and celebrate yourself because this will build momentum. It will enable you to continue growing, continue winning, continue accomplishing, continue achieving. And lastly, live with intention. Attention doesn't drift. Or should I say intention? It doesn't drift. Intention stays focused, it stays aligned. When you live with intention, you're aligning your actions to who you want to be, to where you see yourself, to the growth that you anticipate for yourself, to your future goals, and connecting with the future version of you. Let's do a visualization exercise where we are going to connect with the future version of ourselves. And then I'm going to ask you some questions for you to reflect upon. And we're going to finish with an affirmation. Okay? So I'd like to encourage you to close your eyes if you are in a safe space where you are comfortable and can hear my voice. Just close your eyes and experience the comfort of where you're sitting. Your seat feels wonderfully comfortable and you feel lovely and safe. Just inhale and exhale. Imagine yourself 5 years from now living your best life. What are you doing? How do you feel? And who's with you? See it and see it clearly. Make a commitment today. Bring that energy into today because every decision you make is bringing you one step closer towards building that vision of your future self and your future life. I'm going to count you down from 5 to 1. Don't open your eyes yet if you close them. When I say 1, you'll open your eyes and you'll feel motivated. You'll feel refreshed. You'll feel a passion to connect with the future self that you saw. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What's one thing that you can start doing today to create your best life? What's one habit or mindset that you need to let go of? And what brings you the most joy? And how can you do more of it? Feel free to share your answers or journal them. If you haven't got a journal, get yourself a notebook, get yourself a journal, and journal. It's a wonderful, wonderful self care tool. Well, here comes the affirmation. The affirmation is I'm the author of my story, and I choose to make the rest of my life the best of my life. Would you like to repeat that after me? I am the author of my story, and I choose to make the rest of my life the best of my life. Remember, it's never too late. Your best chapters are still unwritten, and you can be the turning point. If you've enjoyed this live, then please subscribe and connect with me today. At the moment, it's not available for sharing, but it will be. And maybe you're seeing this live once it has been shared. Thank you. Please share it on to others if that's the case. Next week, I'll be back to continue the journey. I would love to walk this journey with you. Come back next week for another session on Saturday at 9 o'clock. I'm Janette, Coach Janette. My details are in my profile. Feel free to get in touch if you'd like a personal wellness session. Bye for now.